A temporary ceasefire between the US and Iran? That's surprising enough on its own. But the fact that it was brokered by Pakistan? Now that is a major diplomatic plot twist nobody saw coming. Today, we're going to explain exactly how this unlikely deal actually happened.
So really, how did this all go down? I mean, Pakistan isn't the first country you think of for this kind of thing. Well, the answer involves a really powerful general, a very personal relationship, and an opportunity that was just perfectly timed. It's a fascinating peek at how modern diplomacy can work in some pretty unexpected ways.
To solve this whole diplomatic mystery, we first have to get to know the central figure in Pakistan, a powerful general who, it turns out, has really captured the attention of the White House. And this isn't just any general. Meet Asim Munir. He's been the head of the armed forces since 2022, but he is way more than just a military leader. He's a political player with some serious authority, and President Trump has been paying very, very close attention to him. So where does all his power come from? Well, it stems from what a lot of people call Pakistan's hybrid system. It's often described as a hand-in-glove kind of operation, where you've got the civilian government and the military sharing control. But, that balance of power, it can shift. And right now, a lot of people believe it's swinging firmly towards the military. And his position is, believe it or not, incredibly secure. There was a recent constitutional amendment that made his title of Field Marshal a job for life. Oh, and he was also granted lifetime immunity from prosecution. I mean, with that level of job security, he has the freedom to act decisively on the world stage without ever worrying about political drama back home. Okay, now for the next piece of the puzzle. And this is where things get really unconventional. You see, this deal wasn't hashed out in some formal embassy. It was built on a personal connection. And this right here, this isn't just some polite diplomatic talk. This is how President Trump personally and apparently often refers to Asim Munir. It really hints at a much deeper, more personal connection between these two men, one that works way outside the usual stuffy channels of statecraft. And get this, their relationship isn't just political. It actually seems to be a business partnership. After a personal lunch last summer, there are reports that they've bought cryptocurrency and maybe even a hotel together. Now that kind of deal-making, that's a language President Trump understands perfectly, and it creates a really powerful informal line of communication. Okay, so we've got this personal connection established. The next question is obvious. What created the opening for Pakistan to even play this role, right? Why weren't the usual mediators involved in this? Well, it turns out there was a huge shift in the mediation game. The traditional go-betweens, the Gulf states, were reportedly so furious with Iran that they just stepped back to focus on their own self-defense. And this created a diplomatic vacuum, a big opening for a country like Pakistan, which wasn't in the direct line of fire, to step right in. And you know what? Pakistan was perfectly positioned to fill that void. It has a long border and gets a ton of oil from Iran. And critically, it already had those military-to-military contacts in place. Plus, let's not forget history here. Pakistan helped broker the big US-China thaw back in the 1970s. So all these factors just made them a natural fit. And they put these advantages into action fast. So, while Pakistan's prime minister was having formal talks with Iran's president, Field Marshal Munir was using his personal military channels to talk directly with his counterpart. And the really crucial part? This whole effort was apparently kicked off from Washington. So, let's connect all the dots, right? Let's look at the full picture of how this completely unlikely deal actually came together. And here it is, the final piece of the puzzle. This one coming from the Financial Times. They reported that the White House explicitly pushed Pakistan to take on this role. This basically confirms it was a deliberate strategy, one designed to use that unique, personal Trump-Munir relationship to get a very specific result. So here's the bottom line, the key takeaway. This wasn't just one single factor. It was more like a perfect storm. You had a powerful, untouchable figure in Field Marshal Munir, his personal business ties to President Trump, a sudden diplomatic vacuum, and then a direct request from the White House to just make it happen. And all this leaves us with a pretty provocative thought. This whole deal suggests that personal relationships, maybe even business ties, can sometimes be way more powerful than traditional diplomacy. In an age of politics so driven by personality, is this the new playbook for solving international conflicts?